Now we have the last presenter of the entire event. So it's really, and it was sort of not necessarily a planned thing, but then they had some really exciting news on the 1st of June, I think. So I was really keen for Joost from Paques Biomaterials to come up and give us a bit of information about the exciting news and what's been going on with his business. So please welcome Joost to the stage.
Yeah, so the last guy in front of drinks. Thank you for being here. What a patience. For those people that really are eager to get drinks, this is the one-slide summary, so you can just listen to this and then go out. We produce and sell a natural alternative to plastic. It's a PHA, polyhydroxyalkanoate, and we do this on the basis of organic waste streams. So this was a, let's say, invention by the TU Delft, started in 2011. We took it in our own hands in 2021. We now have 3 locations, and on the pictures you see me and my co-founder René Roosendaal. Now, for those of you that would like to know a little bit more, let's start with bread. We love it. We can eat it. It's very good for you. It comes from corn. So corn comes from the land, and if you look at that land and you look into the roots of that crop, you see these little particles. Now, so far so good, until we find out that these particles are actually microplastics. And these microplastics have been used by us in cultivation of those crops, but they of course end up in our body, and that's not really a surprise. So that's what struck us, and that's when we found out that there's a solution to that. We call it Kaleida. It's this PHA material. And Kaleida is actually a natural material because it's produced by bacteria. So bacteria like to eat organic material and then store it as an energy reserve in their cell, and for them it's kind of a bacteria fat. And what we've found is a way to really grow these bacteria so they, let's say, get obese and they are really fat, and then we harvest this PHA out. And the beauty, of course, is that because it's produced by bacteria, if it ends up in nature, the same bacteria or the same type of bacteria will also eat it. So it's extremely biodegradable. Now here's a few, let's say, struggles we've had that we've overcome. First of all, legislation. It's usually a good driver for companies to really start to get moving. And there's some tailwinds, but there's some headwinds as well. Yeah. So we really see, and we heard this before a few times today, things are really starting to move, I think, in our, let's say, domain, but there's still a lot of work to do. We also had the, let's say, challenge of the value chain. Also heard this on the stage this morning. It's not just a new upstream process which you can plug into a downstream, which we used to do with biogas production from wastewater or organic waste streams. But now it's a process where we produce the PHA, but then have to take it off-site, downstream process it, then bring it to a compounder, then, let's say, bring it to a converter, and then in the end put it into a market. So we are developing upstream and downstream, which is what we've been doing for the last, let's say, years. Then we had the chicken and the egg dilemma, probably also familiar to a few of you, where we have a good idea to get value out of waste. So we went to our waste owners and we said, look, this is a great idea. And they said, okay, let's do it. Can you sell the material? Then we can commercialize this. And we said, oh, well, not yet, because we need to make it first. But then we went to the PHA buyers, let's say, and they said, okay, let's make this material. And then this is a good idea because it's really biodegradable. And I said, yeah, sure, yeah, give us some 50, 100 kilograms. And we said, we don't have it. Let's go back to the feedstock producers, and this is where the chicken and the egg came. But we've been able to solve that because we've really been scaling up, and this is where the introduction was very welcome. We've just opened up our Kaleida extraction plant in the bottom right in Emmen this last month. And that will produce 25 kilograms on a daily scale, so now we can deliver the hundreds of kilos for this application process. So we really think now we're in the stage where we can start selling this material. But then where to sell it? And this is maybe a bit of a complicated slide, because obviously we looked first at where are these bioplastics, where are these PHAs being sold at the moment? And the Novozymes, not the Novozymes, the Nova Institute has done great work on that, where biodegradability makes sense, and this is what we took as a basis. But we also looked at specific criteria for us, our criteria we call them. And we said, okay, where does it make sense for us to start? And we looked at places where these microplastics really do harm. So you end up in the agri and horticulture industry, for example. But we also said, okay, where is the legislation of the driver? Remember the slide on legislation. Where is really a need for this type of polymer? We also said, okay, we make it from waste. So food is a great application, but not going to be an easy one, because if you want to use waste for food applications, it's going to take time to get through these processes. Then, of course, willingness to pay, to be able to pay for this material, which will never beat plastic prices, let's face it, on the short term. Maybe on the long term we can, but the short term not. And of course, PHA has its own specific material properties. So we end up in two segments. One is the one I like most, where we don't compete with plastic, because competing with plastic is usually a very hard struggle, and you lose up ending to Chinese cheap production specialists. And this is in the building and construction sector, and also in the agriculture, let's say, restoration of ecosystems or denitrification or soil remediation. That's where we get good traction. But we're preparing for the plastic segments, for the coating and adhesives, because we can use the organic waste stream of a paper factory and convert it into a coating which he can or they can apply onto their paper. So it's really a circular process, which in the end will also help them achieve their circular goals. Arch and horticulture was already mentioned. Of course, we're looking into fibers, polyesters, which was discussed before on the stage as well, non-food and others. So these are the markets we're really trying to target, and this is what we're trying to achieve. This is where we want to commercialize, and that's why I'm so happy to be on this stage. And let's go out there and get some drinks, and if you want to talk about this, then please come to me.